I did have sports-related angles on the Will Smith thing, though. Shannon Sharp, who I love Shannon Sharp anyway, but had an interesting take that obviously I can't really relate to as much, but you guys probably could. Here's Shannon's take on what happened with Will Smith.
I'd have whipped Will Smith ass.
I know you.
I would have whipped, he'd have had to whip me or I'd have had to whip him. And every time I see him, it's on site. There ain't nothing said. And then you apologize to the Academy. After the Academy, you need to apologize to that man. Skip that. Let me tell you, there's three things, especially in our community. You say the N-word, you spit on me, and you slap me. Because if you go back when we were less than, that's what they did. They didn't punch you, they slapped you.
Got it.
Because that's the ultimate sign of disrespect. When you hear somebody, they don't say I'm gonna punch you, they say I'm gonna slap the you know what out of you.
So Uncle Shay with a pretty good point, though. But obviously, I can't relate too much to that one. But you guys may have something to say.
I am currently. I mean, when you said, I watched it live. When you said it, I look. I couldn't do number past the collection plate, the proverbial collection plate.
Yeah.
Because he's right. Any man in general, but especially any man of color, they will tell you if you want to get real disrespectful and you want to be on the borderline of losing your life. Call us the N-word, spit on us, slap us, and that'd be the last thing you'll ever do.
Yeah, and the funny thing is like that. I have to add two more to that.
Okay, go ahead.
For me, I can't stand this word. It probably, for me personally, it hits home worse than using the N-word, and that's using the word retarded. And that one, and boy, and so
that's what I was thinking because being from the South. Yeah.
So when you use those two things, man, it makes me want to, slap it out of somebody too. So I think it just goes back to respect and understanding the situation. And you get a lot of takes on this situation from. I heard some women say, "Oh, I'm more in love with Will Smith now because he stood up for his wife." But for me, you got to know the moment you're in. I've done something stupid where I threw the towel in Danny Ainge's face, and I should have, handled that behind closed doors, but I didn't. And I think, with Will Smith, he has to understand he should have, I'm okay with you yelling the part, keep your words out, keep my wife's name out. You could have yelled that, but not slapped him because now you've disrespected yourself, you disrespected Chris Rock, you disrespected, it's so many people in this world that you disrespect by having that moment. So, and I think, I guarantee you, if he had a rewind button, he would rewind it and he wouldn't slap him.
There's memes coming out my ears, but I wanted to pull some of the better jokes that I saw online that made me genuinely laugh at the situation. Somebody tweeted, "I'm just glad Chris Rock didn't make a joke about Alec Baldwin's wife." Oh, I know everybody on the podcast is wide-eyed. What did Chris Rock find on his face the next morning? Fresh Prince. That's stupid.
That was a good one.
It's stupid. Will said in his speech, "Love will make you do crazy things." Amen, replied O.J. Simpson.
That's bad. That's bad.
That's awful.
That's awful, man.
Here's a pretty good one. "I just hope Will Smith doesn't find out what my ex said about Jada and go visit him at 1625 Blackberry Drive, Blue House, usually home around 5.
Hey, let's go back to the OJ. Speaking about OJ, you know how OJ does this little video stuff on Twitter. Yours, hey, is yours truly, whoopie-whoop.
Yeah.
Well, he actually did one where, everybody's talking about the whole Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. I didn't watch the whole video because it was a little cringy. I knew it was going to get cringy. He was like, well, I just think it's unfortunate. Then I cut it off because ain't no way in the world I want to sit there and watch a man who a lot of people, one way or another, knives, stabbing, blood, put it all together. You know what I'm talking about? Brentwood, all that. Yeah. So I ain't want to watch that whole video because I'm like the last person in the world people want to hear from when it comes from any type of conflict.
Yeah,
is Orenthal James Simpson.
It's funny because we have this thing in the studio when a couple of Lakers. Mike Breslin, good friend of mine. He always says, "Oh, these are winnable games for the Lakers." And every time he says these are winnable games, I cringe. Like, no, don't say that because we're gonna lose. So every time he said that, we lost the game. So we have this ongoing joke. So last night they didn't show this to the world, but I'm gonna show this to you guys because it's funny. I don't know if you can see it. But he did this. And
Oh, the smack.
yeah. And that's me
Slap
smacking
his
him.
ass. Yeah.
So, hey, talking about winnable game. It's like me.
Winnable games and you smacking the shit out of him. Oh,
So,
God.
You know,